Let's see what we got today.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be quick here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank the whole crowd for uniting against this man. I am proud of our campus. I am proud of us. I was scared seeing these posters, genuinely, because I didn't know who would show up to this event. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are great. Thank you to all our question people. And I'm not going to thank you. I think you are a weird person.
Good one.
Myron, you better be careful, man. You just saw what happened to who that Charlie Kirk. Better be careful, dog.
You know, I think it's interesting that you say that because I think see the reality is there's a silent majority that agrees with me. This is why Trump won, because guys know, right? This is why Trump won, because the good thing about liberals, right? This what's good about liberals. Liberals, right, liberals tend to be louder. You right? You guys tend to hit the streets. You guys tend to protest. You guys tend to be loud, which is great. Something I actually applaud you guys for. But nowadays, I think people are waking up slowly but surely, and I think the landslide victory that Trump had proves that a lot more guys are starting to look towards the conservatism and the right wing versus radical left wing beliefs, because it just doesn't serve us to be liberal, and we can.
Radical looking towards the right wing instead of radical left wing. Wasn't that Charlie Kirk dude supportive of the left wing? I could swear I had somebody tell me that. And this was recorded when? This was actually recorded. Let me pull this up. He actually recorded this. The dude. It says 4 months ago on this page, but so wow, strange.
Can see that there, but yeah,
Can I bring this up just a
there's a
little?
loud minority. What's that, man?
Hey, can I bring this up a little bit? Is that okay?
When Christian simp gets cooked and destroyed. Let's say. Let's see.
I appreciate it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember me at all?
No.
Okay. So can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think the prescription is for society today for men, in a short version? What do you think they should do to be successful with women?
To be successful with women,
Yeah.
okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are we talking about
Well,
here?
I think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, that's Jesus Christ founded it. But I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Well, I've talked about this.
Bro, that's not the only reason though. Now listen, man. You already get me started. Look, dude. You already get me started, man. Early in the video, we ain't even 3 minutes to the video. That's not no. That's not the only reason. There's situations to where yes, you want this girl, you just want her for the night. There's situations, yes, you want this girl, you don't want to be with her, but you want to hit her anytime that you want to. And yes, there's situations to where you're looking for a person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. It's just not one thing. Here we go. Here we go with this whole. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna get too deep into saying all that. But here we go with this. That's the only way. No, it's not the only way, bro. That's the only way in your head because of your belief. Everybody's belief is different.
So I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year,
No, you don't.
6 months to 1 year of savings,
No, you don't, bro.
be in good shape, um, have at least 50 partners, right? Sexual body count.
No, you don't, bro. Disagree with you on that, Myron. You disagree with you on that, bro, and I'm gonna tell you why. You don't have to have at least 50 body counts to be in a successful relationship or even try to pursue some. You don't. That's just him throwing that out there. Like I don't know where you got that stat from. You cannot statistically be like statistically guys who've had 40 girlfriends or have had 40 sexual partners do better. No, bro. That's some bullshit. Okay, that's some bullshit. 100K a year, everybody's not going to make that. So that is eliminating certain demographics of people. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of people, let's be 100, the vast majority of people make between 40 and 50,000 a year. Yes, we have a lot of people who make less than that, but for the most part, if you got a job, right, 40 hours, making 20, 21 or something like that an hour, whatever, you're going to bring between $40,000 and $50,000 home a year. So his realistic picture of 100,000, this no, because once you start saying 100, you're making 100,000 a year. Once you start saying you got 6 months of savings saved up, you're in a whole nother bracket of individual people you're gonna be dealing with, bro. Like it's not true, y'all. Not true.
All right. And then is that the last one?
And then there's one more, but that's fine. You could go ahead and
Okay.
engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life.
Bro. All right, guys. Gotta get big on him. This guy right here, this dude right here, literally said that he told him to date a bunch of girls at the same time, whatever, and sleep with a bunch of women. He said it significantly damaged my life. Bro, first and foremost, everybody's not equipped to do that. Just because one person says you need to do this, and whatever it may be, look this way, have this much money, talk this way, walk this way. Everybody can't do that. So what he was trying to do, you was trying to be a fake player, bro. You wanted to be a player, but you didn't know how to be a player. Everybody can't be a player, bro. There's a method to actually dating 3 or 4 or 5 girls at one time. There's a method to actually having 5 or 6 girls on the side. There's a whole method. The reason why I say there's a method because you don't want to drive yourself crazy. Because if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand the balance and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna drive yourself crazy, man. Dude's tripping, dog. You talking about he ruined your life. No, you ruined your own life. You took his advice and you ran out there without even knowing anything, just experiencing it by yourself. Like everything's not for we say this all the time on this channel. Everything is not for everybody. Everybody can't be a player, bro. Everybody's not gonna have a bunch of money. Everybody's not gonna everybody's not gonna be able to dress nice. Everybody's not gonna have the best career. Everybody's not going to have a successful life according to the world standard, 100,000 plus a year, 200,000 plus a year. Everybody's not gonna have that, man. You know, it's only certain particular people who understand it, who can have that, and who can maintain that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being able to maintain something. You know, let's listen to what this nigga is talking about, bro.
And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved. Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt.
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat them?
See, and this is where I agree with this talk. This is where the simping comes in, bro. Because here's the thing. Not all women, yes, biologically, all women are women. They got titties, breasts, they got titties, vagina, whatever you want to call it. We get that. But not all women need to be treated like women. You got to realize there's bitches. There's the ones that get mad and do shit and fuck your shit up. Those are called bitches, okay? Like you're going somewhere, you didn't ask them to come, they get mad, you come back, this is fucked up or that's fucked up, this is messed up. And you're like, well, how the fuck my shit fucked up? Well, I don't know, my bad, I must have dropped it. That's a bitch. Then you got the whore who just goes around and just fucks everybody, right? You know, they pick and choose. They just fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the slut, the motherfucker who just does anything, anywhere, anytime, right? Anywhere, any place, don't matter where it's at, anytime. It's a little slut, right? Then you got the hoe. The hoe is the motherfucker who just fucks people. Don't matter what they look like. Don't matter if they look good. Don't matter if they look bad. She'll let She'll let 5 niggas run through her, and then she'll come on back home to you and try to get you to play house with her, right? So, bro, there's different forms. Yes, it's a woman. We get that, but there's different type of categories of woman, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you can't treat the bitch like a woman. You can't treat the whore like a woman. You can't treat the slut like a woman. You can't treat the hoe like a woman, bro. You can't do it. You only treat the woman like a woman. You treat the slut like a slut. You treat the whore like a whore. Treat the hoe like a hoe. Simple, though.
So I think
So, a question for you. You said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like
Yep.
that. And then you said that it kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically? Did you like just start? What happened specifically?
well, I started warring against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void.
Mhm.
There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it. And
Sure.
I tried to do it with sex.
Yeah. So, would it be fair? How'd you meet your wife?
We actually had the #1 dating podcast in North and South Carolina called Who Hurt You Podcast.
Okay.
And I'm also friends with Fresh. I know him very well. I texted him before I came here.
Yeah.
And I know pretty much everyone on your crew. But I was a heavy follower, and you actually inspired me to start the podcast. And I realized what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah. So, would it be fair to say that when you went through that experience, you were able to identify characteristics that you probably found as unredeemable and you probably wouldn't want to commit to, right?
In what way?
Well, when you were seeing these women, right, you probably started seeing patterns in how they behave, how they speak, or whatever. Maybe they're not qualified to be a wife. Because the thing is, right?
Well,
Whenever-
I don't need that. I have the Bible for that. It tells me what to look for.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is,
ain't getting
that
it.
You were able.
You not getting it, bro. I see where Myron going with this. You not getting it. Chill out. Pipe down. I see Myron, I see where he's going with this.
And again, you're probably not going to notice it, but when you dated and dealt with all these women, you probably were able to identify characteristics that you were not fond of, or characteristics that would make a woman not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And I think half the game is figuring out which girls don't qualify for marriage versus which ones that do. And clearly, you learned a skill set on how to become attractive and get women, and then you're able to identify the things that you like versus the things that you don't like. And that only comes a lot of times with experience. Now, look, if a guy can go ahead and find a woman as a virgin and be attractive and be able to understand how to navigate that, that's great in modern times. But the reality is a lot of guys don't. And I mean, even in your success story, you had to go through a lot of bad women to be able to identify your current wife as the one. So failures are good. They're good.
Yeah, failures, excuse me, failures in the sense of socioeconomic or maybe even relationship failures could be good. But there's a difference with what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're warned against our soul. Jesus Christ commands us to marry one woman. That's it.
Sure.
And what you were causing me to do was sin against myself. And that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's immoral.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's
you got
wrong.
to take personal responsibility, bro.
Yeah, he wasn't causing you to do nothing, bro.
Because here's
Hold on. He wasn't causing you to do nothing, bro. What you did was this. And this is I gotta get big on this. This is what a lot of you cats do. Y'all listen to somebody talk. If you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that'll happen. Okay, and you don't do no research, you don't do nothing. You just go off of what this person say. You go out here and it's not what that person said. And then you come back like, well, bro, you said this. You told me to do this. This was gonna happen. I did that, it didn't happen. Then you told me to make sure I do this and it happened. I did that, it didn't happen. Right, bro, because you haven't learned, the lessons that you needed to learn, bro. Everything's a study. I don't know if y'all noticed that about life. Everything's a study. You must study to know. You know what I'm saying? When you go to that new job, what do they do? They send you through training. They send you through orientation, right? Through training and orientation, you figure out how to complete this task, how to complete that task. Then what happens? Then after you master this task and master that task, what happens next? They send you on to another. Hey, how about try this out? They send you to another assignment. Once they send you to that assignment, you master that assignment. Next thing you know, they send you here. So it's the same thing here. Like, dude, you're trying to blame somebody for your bad choices. Like, no, that was your bad choice. Nobody told you to do that. He was just giving you some game. You should have did your research. You should have did your research a lot more. You should have talked to people who everybody got homeboys and homegirls. Everybody has a homeboy or everybody has a homegirl that slept around. It is what it is. We all have one. We all know somebody like that. You should have hollered at the homeboy that slept around. Asked him how he did it, bro. I said, no, you used to have all them girls. How did you do it? You should have asked more advice, bro. Like that's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people don't know the method to certain things. He didn't know. You didn't know the method, bro. And you was probably out there spending a bunch of money and all type of crazy stuff, and then you didn't know the method, man. But anyway, let's get back, man. Cooking them.
Here's the reality.
No, I do 100%.
Yeah. So
very publicly, I
and
have in
that's
front of
and
over
that's why
40,000 people. I've
yeah,
done that.
yeah, great. But the point I'm trying to make is I teach guys a skill set, right? If I give you a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot, is that my fault? If I taught you how to properly use it, how to disarm it, disassemble it, you know, how to load the magazine in properly, all that. If I give you the skill set, then you shoot yourself in the foot, right? Is that really my fault? No, I just arm you with the skill set. Then you choose what you want to do with it. Now, obviously, you wanted to go on you wanted to go toward a sex escapade, which is, I guess, fine. But the reality is, I armed you with the tools to become an attractive guy, and you utilize that. You can't come back and get mad.
No,
and
you
say,
didn't arm me with that. I became attractive when I followed Jesus. That was it.
Oh, okay. Now it's changing the story.
No, I'm not changing any story. It's one thing to be attractive in the sense of gaining sexual partners, but it's a completely different thing to be attractive to someone that wants to marry you and spend their life with you and have kids with you. Those are two completely different sexual attractions. If I walk in here looking like Thor, I'm 6'2" and shredded, obviously I'm going to be attractive to women, but it doesn't mean that that's a relationship that produces value for me and my family.
And again, everyone is different, right? For you, it took some time and you found God and you shifted. But the reality is I gave you the skill set and then you choose what you want to do. That's up to you, and you made that decision, not me. I just taught you what to do.
Exactly.
How to do it.
It's on me 100%. I'm not placing blame on you. But what I'm telling you from someone that listens
here's the other
to you,
thing too that you got to understand.
What happens when you speak to people and tell them to do these things.
Here's the other thing too. Like now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You went through it. You experienced
Correct.
it. You
That's
know.
true.
A lot of guys need to get their hand burned sometimes to figure out how things work. Because let's be honest, men are very stubborn.
Why do they need to do that? If they find a God-fearing woman, they wouldn't do half the stuff you're talking about.
Well, here's the thing. Finding a God-fearing woman in today's day and age is a lot harder said than done, right? So
I did it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
And so did everyone in my whole family. So it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's anecdotal from your perspective. But again, you learned the skill set. You were able to find a wife, and I'm happy about that. But you got to take a little bit of accountability here and understand that you basically got a loaded gun and shot yourself in the foot. And you're trying to blame me for it.
No, I'm not blaming you. Like I said, I take accountability. There's a big difference there.
Okay.
But look, nothing against you. Like I said, I've hung out with Fresh 8 or 9 times recently. I love him, and I think your heart is in the right place. But I just wanted to give you from someone that actually listened to what you were saying to do, read your book, and it didn't work. That's all I was trying to do for you.
Well, actually, it did. You didn't notice it yet.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to identify your wife and have been able to find her and figure out what characteristics you like and don't like, right? Unless you went through that.
My wisdom came from the Bible, not you. But I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that Christian dude ain't get cooked. Y'all try to make it seem like the Christian guy got cooked. I thought the video was gonna be longer. But no, that guy ain't get cooked, bro. He didn't get cooked. The only thing that happened is it's almost like what's happening now in the world. A bunch of these lame dudes running around here thinking that they hard and hip just because everybody's damn near can have a gun. All you gotta do nowadays is have a little money, go buy some Jordans, buy some little tight little jeans, buy you a gun, have a nice car, and not put in no work. It's more so of the look instead of the work. When it used to be more so of putting in the work, and then with the work just automatically came the look. You see what I'm saying? See, nowadays people can fast forward that. They can just have the look real quick. Have the look, you act like it, walk like it, ain't never did nothing bad in your life, ain't never been to jail, ain't never shot nobody, ain't never been in no shootout, ain't did nothing, but they can accelerate the look now and not put in. That's the problem. And that's the problem. They can accelerate by having the look and not having to put in the work. That's why you have people. Have you ever met somebody who's very authentic in their craft? They put in the work. And have you ever met somebody that really wasn't authentic, but you can look at them and be like, bro, like they didn't put in the work, man. And that was Homeboy's problem. He thought he can take that and run with it. When yes, they're telling you a certain little method, but you got to realize that nigga's a lame too. See what I'm saying? You got to realize Myron's a lame too. It's not like Myron's hip. Myron's a lame ass nigga. So you're taking game from a lame nigga, then you're going out here as a lame nigga, trying to emulate what a real nigga like me as a player would do. And then now you coming back butthurt, find nothing against Jesus, nothing like that. I'm just saying it. You coming back butthurt, talking about I found Jesus Christ and found my wife, right? Because you was never a true player to begin with, bro. See what I'm saying? You was always a lame. So be saying, bro. And this goes to show that how people nowadays just mess up the game. You have to put in the work. You got to have the experiences. You got to know people from that. Even if you not necessarily the person experiencing it, be around people who are experiencing it so you can see it firsthand, bro. So you'll know. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he ain't get cooked. He ain't get cooked how I thought he was gonna get cooked. But he did go up there and blame somebody for his lack of knowledge, man. That was your lack of knowledge, bro. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And we out, dog. To the next one, man.